anybody. And I had a lot of people. Do people think Grant Delpit's bad at football? I got a lot of people saying, and I thought that they were lying to themselves, by the way, because I had some people going, well, I would be okay with it if it were a good football player saying it. I go, Grant Delpit isn't our best defensive player, but he's been a good player.
I said when you asked me before the show, I'm like, yeah, he's decent. And then I go, but he hasn't made a Pro Bowl. And then
Mitch immediately said, yes,
Mitch
he did.
Like, yes, he did make a Pro Bowl. He made a Pro Bowl last year.
Well, we don't think of the Pro Bowl as anything too great anymore. But
if you're making Pro Bowls, unless you're Snoop Huntley, all apologies.
All apologies.
Yeah, that means
you're at least a good player.
Yeah, guys that make Pro Bowls. I mean, there are guys that are just like bust draft picks.
Okay.
Like they're never mentioned for Pro Bowls.
So you're with me on this because I had also said back to some of the people, no, that's wrong. Because if Myles Garrett were to talk a bunch of trash, Myles Garrett's our best defensive player. If Myles Garrett were to say all those things that Grant Delpit just said, and the Browns go out there and get boat raced, you're going to be mad at Myles Garrett for saying it. You'll just be mad. So anybody who says anything, you're going to be mad. Well, why is it? Why is it that way? Because we're afraid we're going to lose. And not only are we afraid we're going to lose, we're afraid we're going to get boat raced in the football game on Sunday against the Baltimore Ravens. Why? Because you're 12.5-point underdogs in that football game.
Well, here's where I'm a little conflicted on this in general. Like, we had some fun earlier in the week with whether or not Kevin Stefanski needs to fire up the team. And then you gave an impassioned speech with all the history, including all the history and how Baltimore fans think you're a laughing stock.
I admitted they wouldn't care at the end of that, though.
Well, maybe not everybody. I think sometimes some of that bulletin board material, let's remember, every athlete, we always joke about how millionaire athletes act like they've been disrespected around every turn. They act like nobody believes in them. 5-star recruits who went on to some of the best schools in college, maybe won national championships. Then they go to the NFL. Maybe they end up playing or winning a Super Bowl. Then they go, no one believed in me. And we always laugh about that, but it is something they have to drum up internally for their psyche to get them in a certain spot. So I'm conflicted because I'm with you normally is Derrick Henry going to play harder now?
Well, that's what I thought. I go, is he going to tackle himself? Is he going to run out of bounds? Is he going to lay down and call it a day? Like, no, he's going to play just as hard whether you say anything or not.
But these guys they're famous. Athletes are famous for trying to find any kind of bulletin board material, even when it doesn't exist. They try to find it somehow, some way.
Derrick Henry's a great running back. He's 31 years old to be doing what he's able to do. I mean, I know he fumbled the ball at the end of the game on Sunday night.
Which cost him the game.
But he still had 169 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns.
He's a beast.
He was a beast. He's an absolute beast at 31 years old. The amount of carries he's had in his career, it's mind-boggling that he's still able to keep it going.
All the logic.
Yes, he really is. He's an outlier to any of the conversations that we've ever had about anybody falling down. And I have a lot of respect for Derrick Henry, but I don't play in the NFL. So I can all I want. It's like, guys, they're pros. They're pros. And Grant Delpit's a good football player. So, they're going to say things.
Yeah, you don't want our players cowering. You don't want our players backing down. You certainly, we love that they get into it with Cincinnati, and it seems like that does fuel them and get in the heads of the Bengals. Now, that's the Bengals. Now, we have had some success against Derrick Henry. Last year, that was not the case. He averaged almost 7 yards a carry against us.
He was pretty good against us, but I'll never forget that 2020 game. I mean, they ran him on 4th and 1, got a stop, and then I think he fumbled the next carry.
Yeah. Well, with Tennessee, he played with Tennessee.
Now, here's the bulletin board material.
And then the next game, he had like 20 yards total.
Here's the bulletin board material problem here.
Which was 2023.
Jerry Jeudy was asked what challenges do the Baltimore secondary present to him. Here's what he said.
Baltimore secondary, a lot of notable names back there. Just what are the challenges that group presents to you guys as receiving?
No challenges.
No challenges. Kyle Hamilton, one of the best in the business. Here's what he had to say about Jerry Jeudy's comments.
I mean, guys say whatever they're going to say. I really don't care. That's the thing with, like, bulletin board material that I never understood is, like, was I not going to play hard before he said that? So it's like, I'm going to play the same way I was going to play. Like, if you need bulletin board material to go play how you need to play, then that's a problem on you,
So Kyle Hamilton made our argument for us that we just said. If he needs it, and I do think that the Browns do need a little bit, I think they do. I think that's how, especially that defense, I think they want to take everything personal, and to me, that's fine. A guy like Kyle Hamilton, he's exactly right. Derrick Henry ain't going to run the ball any softer just because Grant Delpit would have said, oh, he's a great running back, and we just respect him so much, and I'm going to go up. I'm actually not going to try to tackle Derek. I'm going to go up to Derek. I'm going to try to negotiate with him, and then we'll come to a peace settlement there, hopefully around the 45-yard line, and maybe it's going to be a 9-yard gain for Derek instead of a first down. Hopefully we can negotiate something there. Like, no, he's going to run hard. He's going to boat race you. He's going to try to run you over no matter what. Not using that word anymore. He's going to try to run you over no matter what because he's Derrick Henry. I mean, he's one of the few running backs that are a future Hall of Famer.
So I do see fans on both sides of this. Like, fans were so fed up with the team and their choreographed dances last year. Remember, we had Rodney McLeod in here talking about that. What was it?
I had to ask him about it. It was
the
awkward.
Giants game.
I forget. They
did this dance and end up losing. They
had the pick, but it got called back.
Oh, it got called back too. Yeah. And fans were fed up because they were losing games every week, and the defense, you would have never known it. You would have thought the defense was acting like they were on